Hi, nice to see you again. Graham Martin, the recruitment guy from orchardjobs.com. Good to see you. Today, this is the third in the series of video blogs for managers, employers, people that want to learn about how to hire staff effectively, how to recruit and retain the best staff. Well, today we want to talk about the person specification. In the previous video, we talked about job descriptions and how to put together a really good job description. But when we think about hiring staff, it's often said that we actually hire people for their skills and we sack them, we fire them because of their attitude, because of their personality. So when we start thinking about the kind of person that's going to fit in, let's not ignore the soft stuff about how they're going to interact with other people. What kind of person is going to fit in? Now let's be clear here, we can't now talk about anything which is discriminatory. So when I'm talking about putting together a really good personal specification, I'm considering such certain elements as their communication skills, their ability to focus. Get this down on paper. Start talking about it with your colleagues. Or if you work for yourself, start brainstorming with a friend or somebody who's working in another business not dissimilar. What kind of person fitted in before? Is that the kind of person you want? If it isn't, you've got to get this down on paper. If you're looking to hire a credit controller, you don't want anybody that's overly shy. You want someone that's quite happy to pick up the phone and be, should we say, slightly confrontational. If you're looking for, let's say, an engineer or a technician, you need somebody that's brilliant at detail that can spend a long time focusing on the minutiae. If you're looking for a salesperson, you can't hire a shrinking violet. You can't hire somebody that's frightened of getting on the phone, knocking on doors, or dealing with rejection. And if you're looking to hire a manager, you've got to go for somebody that's got the ability or the experience of dealing with difficult situations and can deal with, let's say, rejection or a bit of frostiness on occasion. So start to think about how this person's going to fit in. And in another video blog we'll talk a lot more about it, but you might want to consider personality or psychometric testing as a resource, as a tool to establish exactly what you're getting when you're hiring this person. Some people are so good at interviews they actually mask the fact that they have challenges in certain circumstances, and psychometric profiling will help you with that. But back to the person, you might want to consider skills, obvious, but also experience and transferable experience. Just because somebody's worked in, say, let's say a charity, doesn't mean that their experience isn't transferable to, say, a manufacturing company. It depends on the job, so think broad-mindedly about this. And indeed, as we come out of recession, as the market changes, the number of really good candidates is going to reduce. So you might need to be a little bit more broad-minded about where you go for really good talent. And I suggest that you do want to hire great people. Don't compromise. Don't try and go for second best. Get the very best person you can, because otherwise you'll only be doing it again in 6 months or a year. More heartache, more cost. So once we've started to work out the kind of skills and experience, what about qualifications? Now, the number of times I've gone to companies, they've said, I must have a graduate. Now, from a discriminatory point of view, that's not allowed. We're supposed to be saying today, we're looking for somebody with a certain degree of, should we say, mental agility or an equivalent qualification. But often companies get hung up on certain qualifications. And I would suggest that please, as employers, let's get away from that. Let's find out exactly what we're trying to achieve when we're hiring this person. Graduates are fantastic, but there are also people out there that haven't been to university, that don't have degrees, that can do just as good a job. So please, when you write the personal specification, think about getting that down. What about location? Do you need somebody that's flexible, that can travel? Do you need somebody that can drive? So if you go to the website, therecruitmentguy.com, you're going to see a lot more information. So I'd urge you to get this down, do a download, it's free of charge, and please think closely about how your new employee is going to fit in with the rest of the team, because otherwise you get somebody in that creates problems, you've got an unhappy bunch of guys on your hands. That's not good. So good luck with that. In the next video we're going to be talking about terms and conditions, so I urge you to have a look at that. So Graham Martin, the recruitment guy from orchardjobs.com, saying goodbye.